let's get started. I've got my large stock pot and some olive oil in the bottom, and we're going to saute this probably medium yellow onion that I've chunked up for you. And we're going to stir it and then put the top on it so it'll cook and get tender. Let's see what it's doing. Be careful because of that steam, honey. Be real careful. But stir the onions and add about 2 quarts of water with 3 large tablespoons of chicken stock base. And you find that just above the stock in your soup aisle. And we're going to stir that and put the top back on and let it come to a boil. And at that point, we're going to do something else. Now, I have peeled and chopped up and into chunks some either russet or Yukon Gold potatoes. And let's add them to the stock and the onions. And we're going to cook those for about 20 minutes. So we're going to get the temperature back up so it's boiling. So let's put the top back on. As soon as it comes to a boil, you want to cut it down to about a level 2 or 3 and put the top back on and let it cook for 20 minutes. Now our potatoes are fork tender and you can cut them with a fork very, very easily and they'll fall apart. Earlier, and even the day before, you could cook about 3 chicken breasts and about 4 or 5 pork chops and cook the meat and shred it together because that's what we're added there. About 3 shredded chicken breasts and about 4 or 5 pork chops. We've just shredded them. And we're going to add that shredded meat to the mixture because that's going to be the meat part of our Brunswick stew. Next, I'm going to add 2 regular size cans of tomato sauce or either 1 jumbo can, 1 can of lima beans, maybe make that 2. And then we're going to put in some corn. Got a golden white corn and a summer crisp, but use what corn you like. And if you have freezer corn from the garden, that's even better. We're just going to add it all in there. Next up, after the corn is done, we're going to add the lima beans, and we've got 2 cans of those. And I don't drain any of the vegetables that I'm using today. The liquid is totally fine, and it helps to season as well. Now give it a good stir, and then what we're going to do is add the tomato sauce. Not just 1 can of tomato sauce, but 2 cans of tomato sauce. Ha 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 ha. Remind me what children's show that was from. Get it all out of there and then we're going to stir it up, y'all. Now that everything's combined, we're going to add something that's easy to get. Ketchup. I probably add a good cup of ketchup to this and stir it. And this is something you're just going to have to taste after you add it and stir to see if it's enough, kind of like with the seasonings. And speaking of seasoning, it's time to add some of that. First off, we're going to add some black pepper. Just kind of sprinkle on probably a good tablespoon, just to your liking. Now, I'm cautious about adding any salt because of the canned vegetables, so you got to give it a taste. Let's see. Let's see what I think I need to add more of. And y'all will never guess. It's sugar, y'all. I added probably about a tablespoon of sugar, and I'm going to stir it around and then see how it tastes. Now, you can use your spatula to put a little bit more in your spoon so you're not double spooning and you're not contaminating your stews. But that's a good way to save on spoons. But keep tasting of it and see what else you need to add. Make sure you occasionally stir it completely around at the bottom because things will stick to the bottom and you can run the risk of scorching something. So be very careful, please. So it's serving time and I have kept this warm until now. You can see how the chicken has shredded and the pork is shredded and the flavors has melded together. What I want to make sure I impart to you is that you can just keep this on warm, but you have to stir it about every 15 minutes. If you're going to keep it warm for any length of time, I would recommend putting it in a crock pot on warm, because it will not burn. And do not ever leave this unattended on more than just a warm setting, because you do have to stir it. If you're reheating it, make sure you're stirring it. So it will scorch on the bottom. You've got to be careful with it. But it is absolutely beautiful and highly recommended. My daughter has tasted it and she says it's perfect to her. So I hope and pray y'all enjoy. I'm going to dish up a bowl full and show you what it looks like. Here we go with our bowl full of warm, delicious and delightful Brunswick stew. And this is meaty, it is filling, and you can serve this as a main course, or you can serve it as a side dish. Get you a little taste of it. Y'all enjoy. And I'd like to dedicate this recipe video of Brunswick stew to Mr. Jeremy Eckenrode and his lovely wife. God bless you both, keep you safe, and I wish you the best always. Thanks.